Island Pearl, a paradise built on sand. Nothing is more difficult than simplicity. Leonardo da Vinci. $19.99. We opened a charming boutique hotel, Island Pearl, in our little slice of heaven. It was strategically placed less than 20 meters from the renowned West Bay Beach, a location acclaimed as one of the 100 prettiest beaches in the world. Pierre built the houses tucked in among the trees, which helped retain the natural charm of the property. The wooden structures, space for privacy, blended seamlessly with the environment. He purposely left the center of the property open, which allowed the lush tropical trees to flourish and provide a comfortable shade. Despite the potential downside during hurricanes, the intentional gaps in the roofs permitted trees to grow through, creating a harmonious blend of nature and architecture. On hot days, there was nothing quite like lounging under the canopy of trees, offering a front row seat to the mesmerizing turquoise waters of the Caribbean Sea. The houses were crafted predominantly from wood, but the terraces were made from concrete with colored pigments in natural hues. They gave off a warm and inviting vibe. Each terrace had 2 hammocks and furniture personally designed by Pierre and brought to life by a skilled local craftsman. According to Pierre, Hondurans possessed a knack for working wonders with wood, and the availability of beautiful hardwoods like mahogany from the mainland was a pleasant bonus, all at a fraction of the cost found elsewhere. Pierre's eye for design shone through in the creation of our rustic bathrooms. He decorated them with small pieces of colorful ceramic tile arranged to form pretty mosaic formations, and a large round tub filled with tiny blue tiles. He placed large stones around the tub for comfortable seating. The 6 windows that encircled the tub had slats that opened just enough to view the sea, while at the same time not allowing anyone to peek in from outside. These original showers became a local attraction, drawing visitors from all corners of the island who came to sit and admire them. We spent long moments in our showers with visitors, sitting and enjoying the atmosphere. We invested some money in a proper dive center at the back of the property. I stocked it with gear and painted a sign on the beach, and the divers came. We flew up to Miami to buy equipment, where I took trainings to learn to clean the regulators, compression valves, and air tanks. I became versed in the regular management and maintenance of a fully equipped dive shop. The honeymoon phase of our relationship was coming to an end, and we were faced with the daily aspects of living and working together. Initially, Pierre enjoyed the creative side of developing the property, designing the houses, looking for materials, artists, pigment colors, and even the perfect stonemason to make the walls. But once that was completed, he lost interest. He was not interested in participating in the daily management of his beautiful boutique hotel. "I didn't come to this tropical paradise to be a hotel manager," he told me after I asked him why he was spending so much time in bed. I had been used to him running around the property, involved in every detail of the construction. He hired a cleaning woman and a gardener to help run the hotel, but mostly gave me orders before disappearing. When he wasn't moping in bed, he spent his time socializing with the neighbors. At first, I followed his instructions and oversaw the staff, but as I became more familiar with the operations, I gradually took on the role of hotel manager. Although he never stopped bossing me around, even though I was the one making most of the decisions. It didn't bother me that the tasks weren't equally divided because I felt so lucky to have such a good job. I couldn't have fallen into a better work situation. I managed a boutique hotel, I taught my students in the dive shop on site, and I could speak back to my boss and not get fired. We lived in the 4th house and rented out the other 3. After the hurricane, there were so few tourists that no restaurants were open on Sundays on West Bay Beach. Since the flights from Miami still arrived every Sunday evening, we prepared dinner for our guests and enjoyed the chance to share our table with them. Pierre and I continued to revel in each other's company, despite the occasional moments when he spoke to me a bit too harshly. As we settled into our routine of managing the hotel, hosting the guests became something I looked forward to. On Sunday, I reminded Pierre about the evening's preparations. Pierre, the taxi is bringing the guests at 7 tonight. Don't forget to have dinner ready for them, I reminded him. Yes, my love. I'm already marinating the chicken, he answered lovingly, a gentle smile forming at the corner of his lips. Okay, but don't disappear down the beach for too long today, please, I begged him with a concerned tone. Remember that I don't have anyone here to help me on Sundays, I said, though I could sense his attention was already drifting elsewhere. Of course, my love, he replied absent-mindedly, before heading out for his daily beach stroll to visit his friend, known to everyone as Island Bob. And don't drink too much, please. We need to greet the guests, I ordered him, my tone firm and tinged with exasperation. Never, my love, he replied, in the same affectionate but distracted manner. I rolled my eyes, shook my head, and went to check on the sheets in the washer, slightly annoyed by his predictable nonchalance to what I believed to be important directives. As the night fell and the guests arrived, we enjoyed a lively evening full with Pierre's intriguing stories. I was still captivated by his stories, and with every retelling I uncovered new layers of his character and the depth of his journey, which drew me closer to him. Our first high season was a huge success, so we decided to take a trip to France. We hired a temporary manager to oversee the guests during the low season, and we left to visit Melanie and meet Pierre's family. He introduced me to the French culture at its finest. I discovered a way of eating that I had not known before in Canada or any of my travels. I met his hiking buddies, and together we climbed the towering peaks of the high Alps. At the summit, we indulged in a meal of baguette, sausage, and cheese, a meal perfect for hungry hikers. As we rested, Pierre launched into a story about the previous day's hike. We walked for 10 hours along the edge of a thin cliff, Pierre exclaimed, his voice laced with excitement as he embellished his tale for dramatic effect. Pierre, why are you saying 10 hours? We were only there for 5, which was long enough for me already, and the cliff wasn't that thin, I interjected, correcting his exaggeration. Don't interrupt me while I'm telling my story, he scolded me, sternly. I remember perfectly well how long we were there. I'm the person with the mountain experience, he added condescendingly, turning to his friend to resume his narrative. Where was I before I was interrupted? He mused out loud. You two are just like a married couple, the way you talk to each other, his friend chuckled, observing our banter. You're always bickering. I learned that contradicting Pierre in front of his friends was the same as launching an open attack. I couldn't let it go, and I confronted Pierre about his exaggeration later that evening. We never spent 10 hours on that ledge, Pierre, I reminded him in the quiet of our room. Remember, we left the house at 8 and we were back at 4, I said, calculating the hours. Of course, my love, he responded absent-mindedly as he kissed me. So why did you tell them 10 hours? I asked, while letting him kiss me. Because it made the story sound better, and you were interrupting my flow, he said, as he began to kiss down my neck. I have to craft the introduction, develop the context, and then conclude with my thoughts, he explained. If you have something to say, wait for me to finish my conclusion. I pushed him away and stared at him incredulously. But you made me look bad in front of your friends, I protested. No, they didn't think that at all, my dear, he reassured me, his tone distant and distracted. Turn the light off, please, he requested softly. I will make you feel better. I gave in and turned off the light, but a lingering anger simmered within me, adding to the collection of unresolved emotions I carried around, much like a French baguette tucked under my arm.